So the market in my area is quite penniless, I should say. The last build in episode 7, it took a really long time to sell, and I ended up selling it on eBay for way less than I wanted to sell it for. I still made profit on it, even though I sold it for 1,050. eBay took like 15%, so I sold it for a lot less. Luckily though, the 2080 Ti, I didn't actually purchase it. It was a gift, so considering that, we made $130 profit on that build. So given my experience with that, I've decided that I'm not going to build any PCs greater than 1,000. I'm going to aim for budget builds, so putting around $600 into them, and then selling them for around $850. I think this is the sweet spot for my area, because there's just not a lot of money in the area for gaming PCs, and I've had more luck with that sort of range. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Aim for budget builds. So here is what my running sheet is of the money that I've lost and made, and you can see how I'm traveling with this. So obviously I'm not going too good at the moment because of I'm making money back from being scammed. So yeah, but here is a running sheet of where I'm up to in the PC flipping journey. Now, I did end up picking up let me grab it. A Z490 with an i9 10850K. So I ended up picking this up for $450. And that was with 32 gigs of RAM as well, which is hard to find at the moment. DDR4. So I got all that for $450, which is a really good deal. But I'm not going to use that motherboard in a system because the system will be, I'd have to sell it for way over $1,000, just because it's 9.9 and it's a powerful system. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to test it, and then we're going to sell it as is, so with the motherboard and the CPU as a combo. And I reckon it'll sell for around about 650, so we'll make a bit of profit on that. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you guys how to test a motherboard and make sure everything's working properly. So the MSI Meg Z490. Let's open her up. Whoo! She clean, man. All the bells and whistles with it too. So when we resell it, we'll sell it with everything together as well. Ooh, she looks clean. Nice. Alright. Now that we're taking it out of the motherboard box, we need something to test it with. So what I've got, so this board did come with RAM. So what I'm going to do is use this RAM to test it, but this RAM is going into another build. Look how it's wrapped. Here they are. So 2 sets of 16 gig DIMMs equal up to 32 gig Vengeance Pro RGB. Let's put these in. So I got a power supply which I'm going to use in the same build. I'm going to use these DIMMs in, but I'm going to use this power supply to test the board out. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. We have a mag A650BN. You wouldn't use this in a build with that board, but for testing purposes, this power supply is fine, because all we need to do is just see if it posts. So for anyone sort of new to building PCs, it's always a good idea before you start building your PC to test your build out outside the case. So yeah, so putting in the storage, GPU, everything outside the case, to make sure the system posts before you build into the case, because you don't want to build everything and then all of a sudden it doesn't work. Then you got to take everything out of the case, troubleshooting. It's easier to troubleshoot when everything's out of the case. With this particular scenario though, I'm basically just testing the board to make sure that it's working, so I can resell it. Nice looking power supply with the dragon on it, and the side shield, pretty cool. Only cost me, with the Black Friday deal in Australia, this only cost me 67 Australian, down from 81 I think Australian, which was pretty good, I thought. So we just need the CPU, I'm sorry, not CPU, the main power, and we need the CPU, it's this one. So it'll always say CPU somewhere on the connector, so just make sure you're connecting, make sure you're checking the font on the cord, so you connect the connector into the right spot, because if you don't, you'll damage your graphics card or damage whatever you're plugging this into that's where it's not supposed to. Just going to put that there for now. The reason why I've taken it off, because I've just taken it off the motherboard box for now, just so I can get the manual out of the box. So here's the manual here. So the reason why I got the manual out is because I want to know where to jump the motherboard. So it's always read the manual, even if you think you build like 100 PCs. you know, and I haven't built 100 PCs, I only built like, I don't know, 15. And I always read the manual, mainly to find out where to jump the board. I always test stuff on an elevated surface, like with anything like a box, mainly the motherboard box. And the reason being is, for this scenario maybe not so much, but the reason mainly being is because you're normally testing with a GPU in it. So a GPU, you can slot it in and it'll hang off the side. So that's why using a motherboard box it makes things easier. Yeah, so let's just start plugging stuff in. So we just need to plug the main power in. Should be right. See this one? So that's the PCI, it's the PCIe one. So this one goes into your GPU. And then CPU. Now I don't know whether this is gonna post with just one CPU power, but we'll soon find out. Oh wow, no on board. Okay. Alright, I'll have to get a graphics card out of my server. Alright, so I got a GPU. It's just it's no working GPU, it's just a 650, I think, or a 660, GTX 660. Just sitting in my server build. So I'll chuck that bad boy in. And this is why you need to use the motherboard riser, the box, so the GPU can sit properly. Now I don't know if this is even going to post, because this power supply only has the one CPU connector, not two. I don't know if this is even going to post, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see. So, there we go. I'll chuck this in. I just realised too, with this board there's a power button, so we don't need to worry about jumping it with a screwdriver. Power, we've got light. I'm just going to make sure the CPU doesn't overheat. There we have post. That's all I need. It works. I'm glad I didn't need another. Glad I didn't need another CPU connector. I hope it was informative. Just one thing. Be careful when you do what I just did then with no cooler. Make sure you don't have it on for too long, because it does heat up pretty quickly, especially with 9.9. So just be careful. Use a cooler. It's probably the recommended thing. But yeah, if you know what you're doing, just do it how I've done it. So now the motherboard's tested. We're going to put it up on Facebook Marketplace for 700. Give us a bit of wiggle room, and hopefully we can sell it for 600. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.